Kamusta mga kaibigan? Welcome to JoshFriends, where faith meets friendship and inspiration is always within reach. Ako po si Father Migs Ramirez, and as we step into another year together, I'm so glad you're here with us. For those just joining us, think of this as your spiritual tambayan, a place where we gather to share stories of faith through the amazing collection from JESCOM exclusives, Stories of Faith. Whether you're a long-time listener or this is your first time here, tuloy po kayo. Part na kayo ng barkada namin. Each episode, we invite friends of the Jesuits to share something special from the JESCOM Exclusives library. Readings from our books, song lyrics turned into poetry, and words that might be exactly what your heart needs to hear today. So, sit back, relax, and let's dive into another episode of heartwarming stories and uplifting messages. Are you ready? Let's go!
I knock on doors for a living, literally. And you'd be surprised. The people who look the most put together from the outside are often the ones holding the most broken things behind that door, including me sometimes. I'm Sister Maria Leah Japos, Madre po from the Parish Visitors of Mary Immaculate. And before you picture someone quietly praying in a chapel, I was a practicing lawyer. I argued cases. On some nights, I performed with an acoustic band, plus very active in many organizations sa parish. Close din ako sa family. I have 4 brothers. So laging madaming ganap. I had a full life. And I chose to step away from it, not because it was bad, but because something kept pulling me toward a different kind of work. The kind you don't measure in cases won. The kind you measure in doors opened, in people who finally felt seen. But here's what nobody tells you about mission. It's not always beautiful. Minsan walang sumasagot sa pintuan. Sometimes you sit across a family in crisis and you have no perfect words, just your presence. And you go home carrying their pain. You bring them to prayer because you don't know where else to put it. Ganyan talaga ang mission. It's not a highlight reel. Which is why this book landed on me at exactly the right time. Love Him Evermore, a 9-day personal retreat by Father Joe Laramie, S.J., rooted in the spiritual exercises of Saint Ignatius and centered on the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Available at jescom.ph/Josh. Father Laramie writes the way a good friend talks. Warm, practical, a little witty. He doesn't just hand you theology, he hands you questions. Day 8, the heart of the mission, asks 3 that Ignatius himself invites us to sit with. What have I done for you? What am I doing for you? What will I do for you? Tatlong tanong lang. But when you actually stop and sit with them, they're not easy. The second question is where I live most days. What am I doing? May mga araw na pakiramdam mo, walang nagbabago. You visit the same streets, sit with the same struggles, and outside of ministry, I carry my own weight too. A brother battling cancer, aging parents, the quiet crosses that don't make it into conversation. And yet Father Laramie gently reminds us that the mission was never ours to carry alone. The Sacred Heart isn't just a symbol on a prayer card. It's an invitation to stay close, to keep returning to the one who sent you, especially on days you feel empty. That's Ignatian spirituality for me. Hindi ka kailangang maging superhuman. You just have to stay present, available, honest. And then the third question pushes you forward. What will I do? Father Laramie asks, is there one small thing Christ is calling you to now? A phone call? A conversation you've been avoiding? And then, is there one big thing, even if your role in it is small? That distinction matters because we often think mission has to be grand. Pero most of us are called to something smaller, simpler, and just as real. For me, it's going back to the door that did not open last week. It's sitting with a nanay who just needs someone to listen. Small things, done with a full heart, that's the mission. If your faith has felt a little hollow lately, like you know all the right prayers but something still feels off, Love Him Evermore is worth picking up. 9 days or 9 weeks if life is busy. You go at your own pace. You journal, you sit with the questions. Because faith isn't a feeling you wait for. It's a direction you keep choosing. Kahit pagod ka, kahit di ka sigurado, kahit hindi bumubukas yung pinto. You keep going. You keep returning to the heart that sent you in the first place. Maraming salamat po for joining us on Josh Friends. Grab your copy of Love Him Evermore by Father Joe Laramie, S.J. at jescom.ph/Josh for anyone whose heart is still searching. And I think that's most of us. Ingat lagi, kita tayo sa susunod.
Maraming salamat po mga kaibigan. I hope the words we shared resonated with you and gave you something beautiful to carry into your week. Remember, the full book, song, or resource we featured today, along with so many other inspiring materials, can be found at JustCom Exclusives Stories of Faith. And before we go, I want to remind you, in this journey of faith, hindi ka nag-iisa. We are all in this together, growing and discovering God's love in every conversation, every story, and every moment. Ito po si Father Migs Ramirez, and until we meet again, paalam at ingat mga kaibigan.